Have you ever sat at the dinner table, looking at your plate, and wondered, is this helping my blood sugar, or is it quietly working against me? Or maybe you've heard your doctor say, you need to manage your blood sugar better, but they didn't tell you what to actually eat, just what to avoid. No sugar. No white bread. No sweets. Great, but what can you eat? If you're a senior, or you're caring for someone who is, then you already know managing diabetes isn't just about what you don't eat. It's about what you do eat. And here's something that might surprise you. Some of the most powerful tools to lower your blood sugar aren't expensive medications or exotic superfoods. They're right in your kitchen, in your produce drawer, maybe even sitting in your fridge right now. You see, our bodies, especially as we age, start to respond differently to the food we eat. What used to be a harmless snack can now send our blood sugar on a roller coaster. But the good news? Nature gives us answers. And today, we're going to talk about 7 vegetables, yes, vegetables, that aren't just good for you. They actually help your body fight high blood sugar naturally. Some you'll recognize. Some you might not eat often enough. And one? Well, you might have been avoiding it your whole life because of its taste. But it could be the missing piece in your daily routine. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 7 veggies can help you or a loved one stay steady, feel better, and live with more energy and confidence every day. And hey, if you're ready to take charge of your health, or help someone you love do the same, drop a comment below that says, I'm here. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button right here on Elderly Wisdom Guide, because every day, we share real, honest tips for healthy, empowered aging. From one caring heart to another. Now, let's open the crisper drawer and take a fresh look at what's really on your plate. Let's start with one of the most underrated vegetables out there, bitter gourd. Now, I know, just hearing the name might make you frown a little. It's not exactly the most inviting vegetable on the shelf, is it? But let me tell you a little story. There's a woman I know, Mary, in her early 70s. She's one of those folks who's tried just about everything to manage her blood sugar. Pills, diet programs, finger pricks, you name it. And despite her best efforts, she kept waking up feeling dizzy, shaky, tired by lunchtime. She felt like she was chasing numbers all day long. Then someone suggested bitter gourd. At first, she brushed it off. It's too bitter, she said. I won't like it. What's the point? But eventually, she gave in and tried a small amount. Sautéed with some onions and eggs, just the way her neighbor recommended. Within a few weeks, something surprising happened. Her energy steadied out. Those afternoon sugar crashes. Fewer and far between. Even her blood test results started showing improvement. And no, bitter gourd didn't fix everything overnight, nothing ever does. But it helped. Quietly. Naturally. Powerfully. You see, bitter gourd contains 2 key compounds, polypeptide P and charantin. Both have been studied for their ability to lower blood glucose levels. They help your body use insulin more efficiently, and some say they mimic insulin themselves. That means they don't just mask the issue, they work with your body's natural rhythms. But here's where most people go wrong. They hear bitter and think, no thanks. And I get it. We're not used to bitter flavors, especially if we've grown up on sweeter or salter foods. But skipping bitter gourd just because of the taste? That's like ignoring a helpful friend because their voice is too loud. The trick is in how you prepare it. Juice it with a little cucumber to mellow the sharpness. Or lightly fry it with eggs and spices for a savory breakfast that doesn't spike your sugar. Some even soak it overnight and drink the water in the morning. It's not about choking down something you hate, it's about learning how to make it work for you. Just like Mary did. But if bitterness isn't your thing, don't worry. There's another veggie coming up that brings a bit of sweetness to the table, and it's one you might already love without even realizing how good it is for your blood sugar. Now, let's take a little turn towards something sweet. Sweet potatoes. Yep, you heard that right. Sweet, and diabetic friendly. Strange combination, isn't it? Let me tell you about Tom. He's 68, recently retired, and spends his mornings walking his dog and his afternoons in the garden. But a few years ago, Tom was struggling with his numbers. Every time he had a regular potato, mashed, baked, or fried, his blood sugar would spike. He felt tired, foggy, and frustrated. He started thinking potatoes were off limits for good. Then one day, his daughter, who works in nutrition, suggested something simple. "Dad, just switch to sweet potatoes. Try them roasted. Just once." He gave it a shot. Sliced them thin, brushed with olive oil, sprinkled a little cinnamon, and roasted them in the oven. Within a month, Tom noticed something. His numbers after dinner weren't shooting up the way they used to. He felt more satisfied after meals, and he wasn't craving snacks late at night. The sweet potatoes gave him that comforting, hearty feeling, without the roller coaster. So, what makes sweet potatoes special? First, they've got a low glycemic index, which means they release sugar into the bloodstream slowly. That slow, steady release helps prevent those sudden spikes and crashes that leave you drained. Second, they're packed with fiber and magnesium, two nutrients that help your body process sugar more effectively. Now, here's a common myth I want to clear up. People see the word sweet and assume sweet potatoes must be bad for blood sugar. But not all sweetness is the same. Unlike processed sugar, the natural sugars in sweet potatoes come with fiber, vitamins, and minerals that actually support your metabolism. Just remember, how you prepare them matters. Skip the frying. Roast them, steam them, or even bake them whole with a sprinkle of cinnamon. That cinnamon? It's not just for taste, it's been shown to help lower blood sugar too. So, the next time you want something warm, comforting, and good for your numbers, reach for a sweet potato. Your body and your taste buds might just thank you. Now let's talk about something a little less common on most dinner plates, but deeply respected in many cultures around the world: okra. Yes, that humble green pod with a bit of a reputation. You may have seen it, passed it by at the store, or maybe tried it once and thought, too slimy for me. But let's pause there, because okra might just be one of the quietest heroes in your kitchen when it comes to managing blood sugar. In parts of South Asia, Africa, and the southern United States, okra has been used for generations, not just as food, but as medicine. There's even a simple tradition you might find interesting: soaking a few pieces of okra in a glass of water overnight, then drinking that water in the morning. Many people swear by this as a natural way to help stabilize blood sugar throughout the day. And it's not just folklore. Modern research backs up some of these old practices. Okra is rich in soluble fiber, which slows digestion and helps sugar enter your bloodstream more gradually. That means fewer spikes, fewer crashes, and more steady energy. It also contains natural compounds, like flavonoids, that may support how your body produces and uses insulin. But here's the problem. Okra has a reputation. People call it slimy, mushy, or too hard to cook. So they skip it, assuming it's more trouble than it's worth. And that's a shame. Because with just a little know-how, okra becomes not only manageable, but delicious. Here's a tip: try roasting it. Just slice it, toss it with olive oil, sprinkle a little salt and garlic, and roast it in the oven until it's crispy around the edges. That texture you're worried about? Gone. Or add it to soups or stews where its natural thickness becomes an asset, creating a hearty, comforting texture without any weirdness. Okra is more than a vegetable, it's a gift. A gentle, green support system for your blood sugar, your digestion, and your overall wellness. And if okra feels a little too adventurous right now, don't worry. Our next vegetable is a lot more familiar. It's crisp, it's green, and chances are, it's already sitting in your fridge. Plus, it's good not just for your blood sugar, but for your heart, too. Let's turn to a classic green you've likely known your whole life, broccoli. Now, you might be thinking, oh, broccoli again? But stay with me. Because when it comes to supporting healthy blood sugar, broccoli deserves more credit than it gets. Take Margaret, for example. She's 74, lively, sharp as ever, but not long ago, she was feeling drained. Her morning started slow, and her energy would dip by mid-afternoon. Her doctor told her that her blood sugar levels were creeping higher than they should. So, she made one simple change: she began eating a cup of steamed broccoli every day. Sometimes with lunch, sometimes at dinner, always lightly steamed, never overcooked. Within a few weeks, she noticed something. She wasn't crashing after meals anymore. She could take her afternoon walks without feeling wiped out. And it wasn't magic, it was science. You see, broccoli contains a powerful plant compound called sulforaphane. It's been shown to help regulate how your liver produces glucose, which is a major factor in how your blood sugar levels behave throughout the day. When the liver calms down on glucose production, your blood sugar has a better chance of staying in a healthy range. But here's where most people miss out. They boil broccoli until it's gray and mushy, and in the process, they destroy many of the nutrients, including sulforaphane. It's not about eating a pile of soggy greens. It's about lightly steaming it, or even enjoying it raw in a salad with a drizzle of olive oil and a touch of lemon juice. That little tweak, how you cook it, can make the difference between simply filling your plate and actually nourishing your body. And if you've had a bad experience with broccoli in the past, it might not be the veggie, it might have just been the method. Now, let's spice things up a bit, literally. Because the next veggie on our list? It's bright, it's crunchy, and it adds color and healing power to every plate. Let's talk about red bell peppers. Sweet, crisp, and bursting with color. But did you know they're also a quiet champion in blood sugar control? There's a senior couple I met a while back, James and Elaine. They loved snacking in front of the TV at night. Chips, crackers, the usual suspects. But when James's A1C started climbing, their doctor suggested a new habit: swap the chips for sliced red bell peppers with hummus. They weren't too sure at first, vegetables as a snack. But they gave it a go. And after a few months of that simple switch, James's A1C began to drop. He felt lighter, more alert, and believe it or not, they didn't even miss the chips. So, what's the secret in these colorful veggies? Red bell peppers are loaded with vitamin C and antioxidants, especially capsanthin and quercetin, which are known to support insulin sensitivity. When your body responds better to insulin, it doesn't need to work as hard to move sugar out of the blood and into your cells. That means lower blood sugar, naturally. Now here's the misconception: people often assume bell peppers are high in sugar or carbs, maybe because they taste sweet. But red bell peppers are actually low on the glycemic index and packed with fiber. They give you that satisfying crunch without spiking your numbers. The best way to enjoy them? Raw, straight from the fridge, sliced into sticks. Dip them in hummus, Greek yogurt, or even a little guacamole. Or grill them lightly with olive oil for a smoky, satisfying side dish. They're simple, delicious, and effective. And they add a bit of joy to your plate, not just in flavor, but in color too. But I know what you're thinking now. What about starchy vegetables? Are we supposed to avoid them all? Not exactly. Because our next vegetable is starchy, but when used wisely, it can actually help support blood sugar balance in a big way. Let's talk about an old favorite that's probably sitting in your freezer right now, green peas. Yes, peas. Tiny, round, and often pushed to the side of the plate. Henry, a 70-year-old with type 2 diabetes, used to do exactly that. He thought peas were just filler food, something thrown onto the plate for color, not nutrition. But during a routine checkup, his doctor told him something surprising. Peas aren't just filler, they're fiber powerhouses with real impact on blood sugar. So, Henry gave them another try. He started adding peas into his soups, mixing them into rice dishes, and even blending them into veggie patties. After a few months, he noticed something subtle but important: fewer sugar crashes after meals. More sustained energy during his daily walks. And most importantly, more stable readings on his glucose monitor. You see, green peas are special because they're low on the glycemic index but rich in slow-digesting carbohydrates. They also bring a solid dose of plant-based protein and fiber. A combination that helps keep your blood sugar from spiking after meals. But here's where the confusion sets in. People often lump peas in with starchy vegetables like corn or white potatoes, assuming they must be off-limits for diabetics. But that's not true. While peas do contain some natural starch, their fiber and protein content helps balance out the effect on blood sugar. The key is how you use them. Add them to soups, stews, or mix them with brown rice to bump up the protein content. They're especially great when paired with other non-starchy veggies, turning an ordinary dish into something blood sugar friendly and satisfying. And speaking of satisfying, our final vegetable might just be the most powerful of all, yet it's also the most humble. It doesn't make a lot of noise. It doesn't try to be flashy. But it's packed with nutrients your body needs to thrive, especially if you're managing diabetes. Let's end our list with the quiet giant of the vegetable world, spinach. Yes, the leafy green that many folks ignore because it looks, well, a little too simple. But let me tell you about Joan. She's 82 and lives alone, but she's determined to stay independent. A few years ago, Joan began feeling foggy in the mornings. Lightheaded, off balance, not herself. She mentioned it to her doctor, who suggested a simple dietary change: add magnesium-rich foods to her daily routine, starting with spinach. So, Joan began tossing a handful of spinach into her morning smoothies. Just a little. Some days she'd stir it into scrambled eggs. Other days she'd blend it into soups or add it to her sandwiches. And slowly, her mornings began to change. She felt more alert, more centered, more herself. And the science backs her up. Spinach is rich in magnesium, a mineral many seniors don't get enough of. Magnesium plays a crucial role in insulin sensitivity, helping your body respond properly to the insulin it already produces. And get this. Spinach is very low in carbohydrates, making it one of the safest greens for stable blood sugar. Now, a lot of seniors think spinach is bland, or that leafy greens don't do much. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Spinach is like a gentle hand, guiding your blood sugar into a safer, more stable rhythm. And it's so easy to add into your day. Scramble it with your eggs. Mix it into a lentil soup. Or, like Joan, throw it in a smoothie with banana and almond milk. You won't even taste it. It's gentle, it's powerful, and it's here for you. And now that we've uncovered all 7 of these blood sugar-friendly vegetables, let's take a step back, breathe, and reflect on what this really means, for your health, for your energy, and for your peace of mind. For seniors living with diabetes, every single bite of food can feel like a choice between fear and hope. Should I eat this? Will it spike my sugar? Is it safe for me? It's not just about what's on the plate, it's the weight of it all. The stress. The constant math. The quiet frustration of trying to eat right and still feeling like nothing is working. Maybe you felt that way. Maybe you've looked down at your dinner and wondered, Is this helping me, or hurting me? You're not alone. So many seniors feel overwhelmed, even defeated, by diabetes. It sneaks in, demands change, and then offers no clear roadmap. And that can be incredibly disheartening. But here's the truth that often gets lost in all the charts and carb counts: managing diabetes isn't about punishment. It's not about giving things up. It's about choosing powerfully. Choosing the foods that work with your body, instead of against it. And that's why today's list of vegetables matters so much. Because it's not just about lowering blood sugar, it's about what happens when your blood sugar is stable. You think more clearly. You wake up feeling refreshed. You walk with a little more strength in your step. You feel like yourself again, bit by bit, day by day. It's not about perfection. It's not about cutting out every bit of sweetness in life. It's about balance. And more importantly, it's about peace of mind. So, here's something simple, something real. Pick just one vegetable from this list. One that stood out to you. Maybe it's spinach. Maybe it's sweet potatoes. Whatever it is, add it to your next meal. Not next week. Not next month. Tonight. Let that one small step be a quiet act of self-care. Of saying, I'm worth it. Because you are. You don't have to transform your diet overnight. You don't have to be perfect. But with the right knowledge, a little bit of patience, and a whole lot of heart, you can take control of your health. You can feel better. And yes, you can thrive, even with diabetes, even in your 70, 80, and beyond. So be gentle with yourself. Start small. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're here with you. Step by step. And the road ahead? It's full of hope. Let's take a moment to breathe it all in. Today, we explored 7 powerful vegetables that can truly make a difference in your journey with diabetes, especially for seniors who want to stay strong, clear-headed, and independent. We started with bitter gourd, nature's intense but effective sugar fighter. Then came sweet potatoes, gentle on your glucose, rich in comfort and warmth. Okra, slippery to some, but full of blood sugar balancing fiber. Broccoli, loaded with sulforaphane and quiet strength. Red bell peppers, bright and refreshing, doing double duty for your immune system and your insulin. Green peas, often underestimated, but packed with protein and steady energy. And finally, spinach, humble and nourishing, with the magnesium your body needs to stay stable. Each of these plays a unique role in supporting blood sugar balance, and each one can become part of your everyday plate, with a little creativity, and a lot of care. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these vegetables do you already enjoy? Or maybe, which one surprised you the most today? Which one will you try this week? Let's start a conversation in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else, so don't be shy. Share what's on your plate. And if this video gave you something to think about, if it brought you comfort, or a new idea, or even just a reminder that your health is still in your hands, go ahead and click that like button. And of course, subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Every day, we're here with honest, heartfelt guidance for seniors and their families. No gimmicks. No scare tactics. Just practical wisdom, served up with care and compassion, just like we'd want for our own loved ones. You've taken the time to learn today. You've listened with an open heart. That's no small thing. So, thank you, for being here. For showing up for your health. For being part of this growing community of wise, empowered elders. Stay nourished. Stay hopeful. And as always, stay wise. I'll see you in the next video.